जानना है हाउ यू कैन लैंड अ जॉब इन द वर्ल्ड ऑफ कोडिंग? कौन सी स्किल सीखनी मैंडेटरी है आज मार्केट में? नीड समवन जो आपके नॉन प्रोग्रामिंग बग्स को रिमूव करने में हेल्प करे? तो है ना हम। हेलो एंड वेलकम टू फिक्सिंग द बग। बने रहें फॉर ग्रेट टिप्स, एडवाइस एंड अ जॉली गुड टाइम विद द एक्सपर्ट्स फ्रॉम द इंडस्ट्री। सो रिसेंटली मैं अपनी एक कज़न के एडमिशन के लिए कुछ कॉलेज विजिट्स पे गई थी एंड आई कुड अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम एडमिशन प्रोसीजर टू क्लासरूम फैसिलिटीज़, फी स्ट्रक्चर, कैंपस फैसिलिटीज़, सब इजीली पता चल गया। बस कैंपस प्लेसमेंट पे कोई क्लैरिटी नहीं थी। अंडरस्टैंडेबली एडमिशन डिपार्टमेंट के पास ये सारी डिटेल्स नहीं होती हैं एंड फर्स्ट ईयर में इतनी डिटेल्स कौन ही लेता है। बट अगर मेरी तरह आपको भी जानना है कैसे क्या होता है सीआरसी डिपार्टमेंट में, तो this episode is made for you. Whom are we talking to in this regard? Let's find out. Fixing the bug. Powered by Code Quotient. So today we are in conversation with Dr Divya Bartaria, जो United Group of Institutions में Corporate and Industry Relations की डीन है. Hello ma'am, welcome to the show.
Hi Shivangi, thank you.
So United Group of Institutions की बात करें तो it was founded in 1950s and has been a pioneer in computer education since 80s. इलाहाबाद एंड दिल्ली एनसीआर में काफ़ी कैंपसेस हैं इंस्टीट्यूट के. प्रैक्टिकल ओरिएंटेड टीचिंग भी है. थाउजेंड्स एंड थाउजेंड्स ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स को अच्छी प्लेसमेंट्स मिली हैं. एंड देन वी हैव यू हैव अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल टू प्ले. हर स्टूडेंट को अच्छी और राइट अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ मिले. यू पुट इन अ लॉट फॉर दैट. So you are in a way helping in shaping the future for so many people. How do you manage such a big responsibility and make it still look effortless?
So yes, Shivangi, this is a very important question and we are actually enjoying this area because at the end of the day we get the success and when we come to know about the achievements of our students, it gives us a sense of satisfaction and gratification. So what we do, we try to define the shape by researching and exploring the campus skills. We do have, talent pool here. So हम लोग स्टूडेंट्स का एक बार स्किल आइडेंटिफिकेशन भी करते हैं. दैट बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड द फॉरमोस्ट स्टेप यू कैन से. Then we try to research the industry skills and the global skills required. Further, we identify key steps that all our institutions, because we are a group of institutions. So after identifying the key steps, all our institutions take the responsibility to improve our students' employability, right? So we have the training and placement team. So all the team members together work and start working in the same manner. So this is the initial step that we take. Now, we cannot say to any student, like you have to go for this direction, this career and not for that career. Because they have to be involved in a progressive journey, a journey wherein they can have a self-exploration. So this is the reason I always encourage students for their dynamic rather than a static future. And yes, for an ever-changing world, it becomes our responsibility to recognize multiple and evolving scenarios first. हम खुद ये देखते हैं, explore करते हैं, and then we try to make the students prepared for their flexibility and dynamism. We try to make them flexible, right? We try to make them equipped so that they are ready to take the responsibility at their own levels as well.
Okay, but how do you make the students flexible?
Yeah, so flexibility or the freedom comes from the awareness. Do you agree with that?
100%.
So if we are aware of the market trend, hiring trend, job scenario, the skills required, then we try to make the students understand. And then we provide them certain tools or the guidelines through which we make them free to explore. Like for example, if I tell them that on the basis of your psychometric assessment or skill assessment, you stand here. As per me, you are this kind of person. Now you have to explore at your own level, based on your interests, based on your skills and abilities, that which areas you are going to best fit in, right? So after making them clear their fundamentals, a skills first approach with an emphasis on multidisciplinary skills or transferable skills, we apply on our talent pool so that it creates a kind of foundation for continuous learning, right? And it enables the students to become flexible and remain employable throughout their lives. So let me tell you one more thing. Like with the help of our training, assessment, and hiring partners, we do have some collaborations because I am working as the Dean Corporate and Industry Relations. So my prime responsibility is to get associated with some assessment partners, some industry partners, so that we can get enough opportunities for the students' career development. So with the help of that team, we try to do bucketing of students. We try to categorize, classify the students based on their skill sets that they have or that they aim to have. So the levels may be, just for example, they may be beginners, they may be at intermediate levels, or they may be at advanced level of skill expertise, right? So after doing this kind of bucketing, we provide the career mentors, right? So in a nutshell, we can say that we do not focus solely on employability. We believe in incorporating employability within a holistic learning program. Right. So in this way, a collaborative approach of guidance, counseling, mentorship, and training equips me and my team in shouldering this very big responsibility. As you said, yes, of course, this is a huge responsibility. And indeed, in due course of time, this process becomes autonomous, self-reliant, or you can say self-sufficient. And yes, as you said, it becomes then effortless with expected outcomes ensured.
ओके। तो जैसे आपने बताया कि आप बच्चों की स्किल्स को एनालाइज़ करते हो, सो व्हेन डज़ दिस हैपन? ये थर्ड ईयर में होता है, आप उनके थ्रू आउट द सेमेस्टर्स परफॉर्मेंस देखते हो या कोई टेस्ट होता है जिससे यू एनालाइज़, कैसे होता है ये?
सो हमारा जो ट्रेनिंग स्टार्ट होता है वो सेकेंड ईयर से स्टार्ट होता है.
ओके।
फर्स्ट ईयर वी हैव अ फाउंडेशन क्लास बिफोर द स्टूडेंट्स स्टार्ट टेकिंग देयर रेगुलर क्लासेस. जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल, we have started taking admissions, those students who are very much interested in joining United. So we make a group of those students and we start their foundation classes. And even once the counseling process is over, we get the number of students who can be trained or groomed with respect to their career awareness. So this is a kind of career counseling session that we start right from the first year. But this is just a fundamental program, you can say. This is not a kind of thing that throughout the semester, first semester or second semester, they undergo any kind of training, because the students are very raw in first year. So we just give them an idea so that they can make a notebook of their career planning. They can start making their career roadmap, and sooner or later, when they enter their into the second year, then we start their training program. So it's a spiral training program which starts right from the second year.
Okay. दिस मतलब मेरे को ग्रेजुएट हुए सिर्फ 7 साल हुए हैं, एंड व्हेन आई लिसन टू दिस तो मुझे लगता है कि अरे मेरे टाइम में तो ये सब था ही नहीं, बट यू हैव बीन अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस एजुकेशनल सिस्टम फॉर अ लॉन्ग वाइल. पहले आप स्टूडेंट थे, फिर आप लेक्चरर बने, अभी आप डीन हो. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, कॉलेज डेज से अब तक कौन सा ऐसा चेंज है जो बेस्ट रहा है?
As you said, rightly said, the best change that I have found personally is the training and placement support that colleges provide these days, which is really, really amazing. Right? In the present scenario, we have taken it as a responsibility, as an accountability, and made it our passion also to make our students trained, skilled, and employable.
Right.
Which was nowhere during our college days. हमारे समय में हमें ना तो कोई करियर के लिए गाइड करता था और ना ही कॉलेज से कोई ट्रेनिंग या सपोर्ट, प्लेसमेंट सपोर्ट मिलता था. मतलब अगर मैं अपनी बात करूं तो मुझे लगता है कि हो सकता है कि मुझे ये जो ट्रेनिंग गाइडेंस है शायद पहले मिल गया होता, तो हो सकता है कि अकॉर्डिंग टू माय पर्सनालिटी आई वुड हैव चेंज्ड माय लाइफ. आई डोंट नो, बिकॉज आई हैव डेफिनेटली आई हैव done various career transitions because of my self-awareness, because of my inquisitive nature, and I have improved a lot, and I have, with the flow of time or with the flow of skill development, I have joined I have been aligned with that area which I am interested in, fortunately, right? Because I am a social kind of person, artistic kind of person, so I know that this is the best area for me. Even if I would have got right kind of guidance when I was there in during graduation or even 12th, I would have started my journey earlier. So this is the biggest change I can see, and I think I should encourage all the students and budding professionals to avail this opportunity at their best levels, which the college or the college functionaries are providing.
Opportunities होना is one thing और उसे avail करना is another.
Avail करना, क्योंकि बच्चे अगर seriously लेते हैं, so तो outcomes है ना, they are miraculous actually. We have seen that. If I compare today's placement result as compared to the past, 4 years back. It was nothing. But now, during this 4 years journey, I have found significant, drastic change in the results, placement results, and we are proud of that.
Hmm.
Because students are also very enthusiastic. They know, they have trust. So there is a kind of mutual trust which is developed now.
ज़रूरी है वो ट्रस्ट होना भी। मतलब अगर मैं ऐसे देखूँ तो मेरे टाइम पे मुझे तो पता भी नहीं था कि मेरे कॉलेज में क्या-क्या फैसिलिटीज़ अवेलेबल हैं। तो आई कुड नॉट अवेल एनीथिंग।
एग्जैक्टली।
अब वो थी भी या नहीं ही थी, वो भी मुझे नहीं पता।
मुझे लगता है कि नहीं थी, क्योंकि ये तो हम लोगों ने एक्सपीरियंस किया है, फील किया है कि टेक्नोलॉजिकल रिवॉल्यूशन के साथ साथ
हाँ।
और हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम में कुछ ऐसे चेंजेस एनईपी के थ्रू भी हुए हैं जिनसे अब लोगों को अवेयरनेस भी हुई है, लोगों को अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी बढ़ रही हैं, या पेरेंट्स भी अब शायद ज़्यादा अवेयर हो गए हैं, टेक savvy भी हो गए। सोशल मीडिया का इतना इम्पैक्ट पड़ने लगा जिसकी वजह से हम अब ज़्यादा समझ पा रहे हैं। क्योंकि मुझे याद है हमारे टाइम पे मोबाइल फ़ोन स्टार्ट हुआ था, राइट? तो उस समय हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा, हमारे पास कोई सर्च इंजन टूल्स नहीं थे जिनके थ्रू हम अपने आप को बहुत ज़्यादा इक्विप या अवेयर कर सकते। तो वो डिफरेंस तो है। और गाइडेंस काउंसलिंग की भी बात करें, अभी भी अगर हम स्मॉलर सिटीज़ की बात करें तो अभी भी पेरेंट्स में या स्टूडेंट्स में काउंसलिंग को लेके भी बहुत ज़्यादा एप्रीहेंशन है। मतलब अभी जो उनको समझ में नहीं आता है कि इसका कितना इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है, और वो केवल एक तरह से स्ट्रेंथन ही करता है स्टूडेंट्स को या पेरेंट्स को।
बिकॉज यू हैव अ लॉन्ग एक्सपीरियंस, तो मैंने भी ये चीज़ नोटिस की। मैंने अपने भाई के लिए अपने मम्मी डैडी को बोला कि आप एक बार को कॉलेज के पहले काउंसलिंग ले लो कि व्हाट वुड बी द राइट पाथ। पर वो बहुत ही अप्रिहेंसिव थे, मेरा भाई भी नहीं लेना चाहता था। तो व्हाई इज दैट बिहेवियर देयर?
तो इसके दो मेन रीजंस हमें समझ में आ रहे हैं कि स्टूडेंट्स को या पेरेंट्स को थोड़ा सा अपने पुराने थॉट से ड्रिवन है। अभी भी आप देखिए, हमारे पास एडमिशन के लिए बच्चे आते हैं, राइट? तो उनको उनको क्या अवेयरनेस होती है कि मुझे ये लेना चाहिए या ये नहीं लेना चाहिए। क्योंकि मैंने देखा है कि वो करते क्या है, वो ट्रेंड है। आज ट्रेंड है कि इसमें जॉब्स अच्छी हैं, ये ट्रेंड है कि ये वाली ब्रांच बहुत अच्छी, ये जो स्टेटमेंट देते हैं ना, ये कौन सी ब्रांच अच्छी चल रही है, सो दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ सेलिंग अ ब्रांच। तो हम लोग अभी भी गवर्नड हैं, ड्रिवन हैं। जो भी हमारे चारों ओर चल रहा है उससे हम ड्रिवन हैं। एक और रीजन हो सकता है कि एवरीथिंग इज अवेलेबल, राइट, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, और यू कैन से दैट ओपन सोर्स सिस्टम है, पूरा अवेलेबल है। नॉलेज इज वेरी मच ओपन, इजिली अवेलेबल एंड एक्सेसिबल। तो वो भी है, तो वो उस पर बहुत ज्यादा डिपेंडेंट हो जाते हैं। बट दे आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ दिस फैक्ट दैट द नॉलेज और द काउंसलिंग और द गाइडेंस प्रोसेस वेरीज फ्रॉम पर्सन टू पर्सन. In the same manner, the personality of one person is different from the other person's personality. So that is why it becomes very important to monitor your board or your student as a parent or as a teacher right from the beginning, in which kinds of activities he or she is involved, what kinds of professional interest he or she has. It is actually a huge responsibility, as I said, and it is a progressive journey. And if you are not aware of that, then you become rigid about that. And this is how parents are not accepting it, or they are not. And in bigger cities, you can see that parents are investing a lot upon career counseling process. And they have seen a significant change in that, and they have taken right decisions for their students.
प्लस जैसे आपने बोला कि नॉलेज इज़ वेरी ओपन, तो इसके साथ ये प्रॉब्लम भी आती है कि इतनी सारी चीज़ें अवेलेबल हैं, इतनी सारी नॉलेज है, दे हैव सो मेनी ऑप्शंस, दे आर एंडिंग अप कंफ्यूज्ड।
वेरी मच, वेरी मच।
तो इसमें तो
आपको मैं बताऊं, इवन अगर हम ट्रेनिंग की बात करें, if it comes to the summer training program, right, or even online courses are available. If I talk about students profile building, तो इतने सारे courses available हैं। हम स्टूडेंट्स को खुद ही कुछ अपॉर्चुनिटीज बताते हैं, उसके बाद स्टूडेंट्स के पास अपनी खुद की चॉइसेस भी होती हैं। सो स्टूडेंट्स गेट कंफ्यूज्ड। सो इन व्हाट वेज वी हैव टू गाइड द स्टूडेंट्स, इट बिकम्स hard work for us. We have to explore that which to choose and which not to choose. So what we do, we try to identify the right course of action, and we have some organizations associated with us through which we try to give them the narrow down opportunities. And I always try to give a list of opportunities to the students, and then in the second phase I ask them to narrow down the list of options available, because you have a lot of choices available.
Correct.
Now you have to choose, because I am not going to take the responsibility to take the decision on your behalf. I will tell you that this will help you in this, and that would help you in that. And now you'll have to choose which one is better for you, because you have come to know that what is your requirement. You have come to know that what is your strength and weakness, and I am suggesting you on the basis of your skill report, on the basis of your personality report. I am suggesting you these are the options. Now you will have to choose, because other factors are there. You'll have to seek opinion from your family members. So after consideration of all the factors, students will have to take their own decision. Yes, we will be there behind in order to guide him or guide her, so that he doesn't blame once he is following any right course of action for himself or her, which he or she has decided at his or her own level.
ये तो है, द फाइनल डिसीजन हैज टू बी ऑफ स्टूडेंट ओनली। मेरे हिसाब से तो पेरेंट्स को भी
Yes,
नहीं लेना चाहिए वो
पेरेंट्स
फाइनल
का भी।
डिसीजन।
हाँ, आज के टाइम पे तो स्टूडेंट्स पे चिल्ड्रन जो हैं, हम उनको इतना इक्विप कर दें कि वो अपना डिसीजन ले और अकाउंटेबिलिटी ले। जैसे हम अपनी एज अ पेरेंट हम अपनी अकाउंटेबिलिटी लेते हैं कि हमने उसको आपको हर तरह के ऑप्शंस दिए, हर तरह की अपॉर्चुनिटीज दी। सिमिलरली कॉलेज लेवल पे भी देखें तो टीचर्स अपनी तरफ से बेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटीज स्टूडेंट्स को प्रोवाइड करते हैं। एज द प्लेसमेंट हेड और डीन, we try to provide job opportunities to the students. So what we do, we open the job post, right? And then we ask the students to register. I'm not asking, gone are the days when I was requesting the students to please attend this drive, please participate in this drive. I do not compel the students to participate in any of the drives. I just invite the registration. If you are interested, these are the job roles, these are the responsibilities, this is the salary, these are the expectations, this is the eligibility criteria, and if you think you are eligible, you apply. If you think you are not at all interested, you don't apply. So in that way, students will have to take their decision.
राइट। तो इसमें जैसे आपने बताया कि यू शेयर विद देम द प्रोफाइल कि ये प्रोफाइल है, ये KRAs हैं, ये सैलरी है, इसमें दे कैन अप्लाई। व्हेन दे अप्लाई, अभी तो वो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, तो व्हाट हाउ शुड देयर रेज्यूमे बी लुकिंग लाइक एंड व्हाट शुड देयर एक्सपेक्टेशंस बी जब वो किसी कंपनी में अप्लाई करें?
With the help of our corporate relationship team, like we have the managers, corporate relations, and me myself, I am also involved in that particular program, wherein we conduct pre-placement seminars, right? We abbreviate it as PPS, pre-placement seminar. So by organizing some pre-placement seminars, we make the students understand that these are the opportunities that your seniors have availed earlier, and these are the certain criteria. We give them the placement booklet also. So for 2022 batch, what had been the selection ratio, what had been the placement percentage, highest package, lowest package, average package, median package, different sectors, the different companies that hired from our campuses, in campus, off campus, through different portals, maybe CoCubes, maybe Aspiring Minds. So there are different portals also, and we give each and every information to all the students. All the students means those who are registered for placements. So you were asking about the resume building or profile building. So by conducting these pre-placement seminars, we tell them that now you start your exploration process. You are in second year, you are in computer science branch, you are in mechanical engineering branch. Suppose Infosys is our day one company. All the students who are eligible for this particular drive are supposed to appear for this drive. Why? Because this is our day one company. We have to ensure 100% presence of eligible students, be it mechanical or civil, irrespective of the branches. So students who are from core engineering branches, they are also being trained for their preparedness towards their performance in these IT sector drives. Why? We have come to know that yes, core companies are not there to hire from tier 2 colleges. We belong to tier 2 colleges. They hire only the ITI or diploma engineers or the senior professionals. So when it comes to the freshers, it becomes quite challenging. So instead of facing that struggle, or instead of sitting idle, why not to be prepared and make a buffer plan, so that we start from somewhere? Why shouldn't we utilize our technical knowledge and skills? There are different roles: software developer, network engineer, engineer specialist, data analyst. So they're different. So we open all the opportunities. We make them understand that now you choose any of the niche tech roles that you want to play, that you want to get into. And then based on your interests and abilities, you start preparing your profile. So it's a stepwise journey. For example, in third year, when we start the training program, and if I know that the student is very much interested in artificial intelligence, so we provide them the opportunities of training, summer training, workshop, whatever, of which is related to artificial intelligence and machine learning only. So he or she starts working upon his or her profile building process. Ultimately, that profile building process leads that candidate to CV readiness. CV is ready for them. Besides that, trainers have their own resume building session during their regular course of study or learning, teaching, learning process. Verify their resume, not only in terms of format, but also in terms of their projects, in terms of their career objective. Everything is judged and verified by the trainers and placement team members.
तो जैसे अभी थोड़ी देर पहले आपने बताया था कि बच्चे क्या पेरेंट्स भी ये देखते हैं कि अच्छा इस फील्ड में ज़्यादा पैसा है, ब्रांड ज़्यादा है, तो जब बच्चे अप्लाई करते हैं फॉर द जॉब तो उसमें उनका इंटरेस्ट फैक्टर कितना रहता है? अभी आपने बोला कि इफ दे हैव इंटरेस्ट इन दिस फील्ड दे कैन गो फॉर दैट, तो कई बार तो हो सकता है ऐसा कि दे डोंट अप्लाई फॉर इंटरेस्ट, तो व्हाट वुड बी योर सजेशन फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स कि जब वो अप्लाई करें तो क्या चीज़ उनको माइंड में सबसे पहले रखनी चाहिए?
We have been facing this problem. Students immediately apply, even they do not go through the job description properly, and they apply for the job once it is released, right?
Right.
But what happens? We have created some bars. We have some corporate relation center policy, placement policy, you can call it. According to that policy, the students are supposed to go through the details and then register only. And further steps are that if you have applied, then you'll have to appear for the for that particular track. If you have appeared and then you have participated well, then you'll have to appear for the interview. That is the next step. You'll have to appear. Likewise, if you get selected, then you'll have to join that company. So these are certain essential criteria that we have kept it. Moreover, we have set a placement cycle. Like after there is a policy of 1+1 offer policy.
Okay.
For example, if I have received one offer, then I have one more option left.
Okay.
So I'll be more careful, alert that now if any other opportunity comes, I'll have to see to it whether it is much higher or better than the previous one. Should I apply for that or should I wait for that? So in that way, because of these policy constraints, or you can say that guidelines, now students are better able to decide. Now, suppose any student is confused, then he or she is supposed to contact CRC. So we give them proper time in order to resolve their issues, in order to make them calm and composed, in order to make them understand that how to take the decision now. So we suggest them, and then accordingly they happily leave CRC by saying that yes, ma'am, now we will continue with this, or we won't apply for this particular job. We'll see to it in the next level. So I don't think now that this is the problem now. But yes, if there is this kind of problem comes, we'll have to consider that or deal with that situation case to case.
So I understand कि इसमें narrowing down the options helped a lot.
It helped a lot.
बच्चों के पास अगर ऑलरेडी बहुत सारे हिट एंड ट्राइज होते और उनके पास बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस होते तो वो रुकते नहीं, मे बी ऐसा बिहेवियर बन जाता कि अरे ये नहीं, अगली आने दो, महंगी आने दो, तब करेंगे.
एग्जैक्टली. स्टूडेंट्स अगर ये सोचने लगते हैं कि इसमें हाई सैलरी है तो मुझे जाना है, तो आज 10 to 12 lakhs per annum या इवन 15 to 20 lakhs per annum की सैलरी वाली जॉब इनको मिल रही है, बट दैट जॉब इज नॉट एट ऑल अलाइंड विथ दैट पर्टिकुलर कैंडिडेट स्किल or interest even, then how it would work. So we guide them that don't go for salary. Just first give due weightage to the profile. Even if it is of a lower salary, if you think that this is a startup and it would be good to start with because it would give you more exposure, better profile, better job role, then definitely you should go for it, because as I said that it is not a final destination for them, it is just a beginning.
Right.
Making them understand about their values, career values also play a very important role. So in that way students are being guided, and I think students are doing well now. They are able to take the decision.
I see two scenarios. एक हमने डिस्कस कर लिया ये कि बच्चे और महंगी अपॉर्चुनिटीज देखते हैं, दे डोंट सी देयर इंटरेस्ट. दूसरा केस ये होता है दे डोंट सी देयर इंटरेस्ट, उनको ऐसा बस लगता है अरे कोई भी जॉब मिल रही है ले लो यार. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि इस सिनेरियो में हमने एक की तो बात कर ली कि व्हेन दे कैन लुक फॉरवर्ड टू सम अदर अपॉर्चुनिटीज बेस्ड ऑन देयर इंटरेस्ट, नॉट द मनी. पर अगर हम इसकी बात करें कि वो इंटरेस्ट नहीं देख रहे, पैसे भी नहीं देख रहे, देयर जस्ट थिंक कि अच्छा एक ऑप्शन आया ले लो इसे ही, उसमें क्या करना चाहिए उन्हें?
उस केस में हमारे पास दो ऑप्शंस होते हैं. एक तो ये कि अगर वो बच्चा उसने कुछ भी सोचे समझे सपोज उसने अप्लाई कर दिया है, तो मैं उसको यही बोलती हूँ अगर वो एलिजिबल है तो उस पर्टिकुलर जॉब में जाए, और यानी उसका पार्टिसिपेशन 100% होना चाहिए। एटलीस्ट ही गेट्स एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू असेस हिमसेल्फ। वो समझ पाता है कि उसका क्या स्टैंडर्ड है, किस लेवल पे है, उसका स्टेटस क्या है। एंड अगर वो उसका सिलेक्शन हो जाता है तो I don't think there is any kind of issue, because see, in each and every company, students are being hired on the basis of certain selection process, and once they are hired, they get training also. So there is an initial training, so they go for it. I have been in touch with various students who have joined any company which they were not interested in, but they have done very well and they continued with that. And I have come across a few students who were of the same case, but they didn't like that job, so I asked them to come back. I will provide you another opportunity. Or else I ask them to continue with it, give at least 1.5 to 2 years, and then take the decision. Because in a hurried manner, because what happens, sometimes students hurriedly, so in that way they do not take any right decision, out of impulse they just take the decision and then they feel regret about it. So what I suggest, that take some time. Every now and then you will be getting the opportunity, so don't get deviated from that. First of all, you should value your first job. Try to assess yourself, because the company is also assessing you. Then also you try to understand the company's culture and values and environment. If it suits you, if it aligns with you, even you will learn a lot. You will get enough opportunities to learn. You will get enough opportunities to improve your behavior and attitude as well, right? So I don't think that students who have joined any company would not get anything, if even if he or she is not interested in that particular job. He or she would definitely learn from that particular job, and after getting some learning lessons, he or she can better able to take the decision. They can take the decision at their
राइट।
own level.
तो अभी जैसे हमने लर्निंग की बात की, इसमें ये तो हमने पोस्ट कॉलेज की बात समझी कि कैसे वो अप्लाई कर सकते हैं जॉब के लिए, एंड हाउ दे कैन गेट थ्रू एंड व्हाट दे कैन डू आफ्टर दे गेट थ्रू। अगर हम कॉलेज की ही बात करें तो अपार्ट फ्रॉम द प्लेसमेंट जर्नी, वो ऐसी क्या कुछ चीजें हैं जो उन्हें कॉलेज में सीखनी छोड़नी नहीं चाहिए?
तो शिवांगी, इसमें मेरा एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कंसर्न ये रहता है कि जब भी स्टूडेंट कॉलेज में एंटर करता है, तो हमारा अभी इवन जब एडमिशन के टाइम पे भी मेरा बच्चों से इंटरेक्शन होता है, तो हम बच्चों से यही कहते हैं, वंस यू एंटर द कॉलेज लाइफ, यू मस्ट स्टार्ट थिंकिंग अबाउट योर इंटेलेक्चुअल इंटरेस्ट्स, योर एस्पिरेशंस, योर करियर इंटरेस्ट्स, राइट, योर फ्यूचर करियर ऑप्शंस और पॉसिबिलिटीज। तो क्योंकि जब बच्चा कॉलेज में एडमिशन लेता है तो भी उसे इस बात की क्लैरिटी होती ही नहीं है कि मैं क्यों इंजीनियरिंग ले रहा हूँ, मैं क्यों मैनेजमेंट नहीं ले रहा हूँ, मेरी क्या ब्रांच होनी चाहिए,
हाँ।
है ना। तो उसको उसका कुछ आइडिया होता ही नहीं है। और आप यू वोंट बिलीव, ऐसे स्टूडेंट 70% से ज्यादा हैं जो बस ले लिया, किसी ट्रेंड को फॉलो करते ही उन्होंने एडमिशन ले लिया। तो हम उन बच्चों के लिए हमेशा कुछ गाइडलाइंस उनको शुरू में बताते हैं। व्हाट आई सजेस्ट, दैट स्टूडेंट्स मस्ट फोकस अपॉन देयर लर्निंग प्रायोरिटीज। उनकी हैबिट्स क्या है, इवन अनलर्निंग भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है।
Oh, yes.
जो उनके माइंड में बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें होती हैं जिनसे वो इतना रिजिड हो जाते हैं कि वो आगे की जो चीजें हैं उनको जैसे कहते हैं ना, उसको ग्रास्प नहीं कर पाते स्टूडेंट्स। So first and the most important thing is that I ask the students to learn, to understand their learning priorities, develop their good habits, and then start understanding the fundamentals of their important subjects. For example, if I talk about advanced mathematics or technology skills, so these must go side by side. Take one important subject as your favorite subject, because when it comes to the interview at a later level, they ask about their favorite subjects. So when their students are in final year, they are not aware of their favorite subjects. They cannot tell that which was their favorite subject or which is their favorite subject. So apart from the core engineering branch, or you can say academic subjects, they must have some specialization also. For example, they can start focusing upon some extracurricular activities, co-curricular activities, so that they can be involved in community services, social work, so that it can help in their exploration journey as well. Students can simultaneously work upon their general awareness, and in that way they can start goal setting, because goal setting is very important. So I strongly recommend profile building for each and every student right from the second year. If not from the first year, then right from the second year, which gives a regular feedback to the students for their training and skilling needs. एक regular feedback उनको मिलता रहता है, and then they try to bridge the gap, so in order to get the opportunities further, and it leads to the resume creation also. And nowadays, you know that students reaching a significant level of learning, skilling, and profile building, they go for self branding also, right? Through LinkedIn, through various social media platforms, they are getting good wider exposure to the professional network and hence for the opportunities as well.
Yeah.
राइट तो मुझे लगता है कि स्टूडेंट्स की लाइफ कॉलेज लाइफ में उनके पास इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, इतने ऑप्शंस हैं लर्निंग के लिए या सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट के लिए, स्टूडेंट पर बहुत कुछ डिपेंड करता है कि वो कितना हार्डवर्क करता है। बिकॉज अगर हम प्रोफेशनल कोर्सेज की बात करें तो इसमें हार्डवर्क तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है, जो हम लोग शुरू से ही बच्चों को बताते हैं कि नाउ यू हैव टू बी वेरी मच फोकस्ड, यू हैव टू बी हार्ड वर्किंग, यू हैव टू have a holistic learning program, and you must enjoy that. And I think with the help of the placement and training team, students are becoming so enthusiastic that they have accepted it that this is the right way to go ahead with their career plans or future plans.
राइट, तो जैसे अभी आपने बोला कि बच्चों को अपनी कला पे तो काम करना ही है, प्लस आपने उससे पहले बोला था कि दे नीड टू बी इन्वॉल्व्ड इन एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज, उनको सोशल वर्क करना चाहिए। दैट हाउ मच इम्पोर्टेंस डज दैट होल्ड? क्योंकि वो ज्यादातर ओवरलुक कर जाते हैं। हम घर पे भी बोला जाता है पढ़ाई पे ध्यान दे लो, पहले डिग्री कंप्लीट कर लो, फिर ये सब कर लेना। तो हाउ मच इम्पोर्टेंट इज दैट?
See, I must say that it is equally important. Let me tell you why. Companies are hiring the students considering various parameters. Their academic scores percentage. Then the second one is their technical ability or skills. Then there is a management round as well, right? You can see that there is HR round, there is management round. So in both the rounds, what do the employers do? They judge the students on the basis of their soft skills. Now, how these soft skills can be developed? Can it be taught inside the classroom? No. So we can give them an idea that what are the soft skills, what kinds of soft skills companies require, and in what ways you can achieve. Everything can be taught inside the classroom, but it cannot be experienced or it cannot be delivered in a right manner unless and until the students have got that real experience, right? So what we suggest that, in fact, it is an essential requirement that you have to do certain projects. It may be community projects, it may be technical project. I'm not saying that if you are not at all interested in any artistic project or social project, though it is a mandatory essential activity here at United Group.
Okay.
Because we have NSS team also, that is National Service Team. We have Rotaract Club, Social Community Club, Social Service Organization. It is an international service organization. Okay. So, and we have Toastmasters Club now, because it works for students, public speaking skills, communication skills. So now, when suppose I take a situation, any interviewer asks that, are you a team worker, or what kind of team management skills do you have? So students will, through rote memory, he can give the answer. Right. But will it satisfy the interviewer?
No.
It would not satisfy the interviewer, because once you have experienced that situation, once you have come to know that yes, these are the team management skills that you have learned through your own experiences while working in a team, then you will be better able to exemplify. The interviewers or the evaluators are judging on the basis of their delivery. So that delivery part reflects his or her experience, a skill of presentation, his or her skill of communication.
Right.
So all these things are integrated. All these skills are integrated. Now, if it comes to the stress management, handling the pressure, how will you tell them that you have to learn this answer and then reciprocate accordingly?
No.
Never. So in that way, these programs, maybe social activities, social projects, community service projects, these programs are essential, but we have to plan it in a balanced manner. So here at United Group, these were not at all entertained. But we realized that this is actually required, because students were not happy, because they were just engaged in only the academic activities, only the classroom activities. And we found that students were not able to explore or develop that kind of soft skill which is actually required. So we understood the requirement, and now in each and every department, we have regular activities planned. We have a kind of academic calendar, and all these activities are already embedded in that academic or placement calendar. So we don't have any option now, and students love to be a part of that program.
Correct. So जैसे आपने अभी बोला कि स्ट्रेस हैंडल कैसे करना है, दिस कैन नॉट बी टॉट, बट वी कैन सर्टेनली प्रोवाइड सम टिप्स कि कैसे स्टूडेंट्स को, अगर लाइक परफॉर्मेंस का प्रेशर है, उनको इंटरव्यू में जाना है, दे हैव दिस नर्वस टिक, वो बहुत परेशान है, तो ऐसे इस तरह का प्रेशर, इस तरह का स्ट्रेस कैसे डील कर सकते हैं वो इससे?
First of all, I tell my students, don't take stress or pressure. Feel light, relaxed, and stay calm. This is the first statement that I share. If you have already defined your career roadmap, if you know yourself and your plans, if you are self-organized, composed, no stress or anxiety can deviate you from your state of harmony, right? So you have to be in a state of harmony. This is the first message that I always try to deliver to my students, right? Second situation is, if by any chance you face any stressful situation, I always tell my students, accept high pressure moments as a challenge, not as a threat. Rather, consider it as an opportunity. I have a lot of examples to share with them. Seeing pressure as a threat undermines your self-confidence, right? So it creates a fear of failure. It impairs your attention and declines your energy and performance. So in that way, I make them understand that if you are taking it as a pressure, your performance will automatically decline. You lose your confidence. So they say, yes, ma'am, it happens. So I ask them, I put forward this question. If by taking it as a pressure or as a burden, do you feel happy? Do you feel harmonious within? So they say no. So I make them realize, I make them enter into a process of self-verification. Right? So I put forward a question and then seek a reply from them. Now, and then finally, I try to give them the tips. Now, what are those tips you asked me? I tell my students, be positive before and during high pressure moments, right? And you try to shift your thoughts and focus upon things that you can control, because there are certain things that you can control and there are certain things that you cannot control. So try to shift your focus from those things that are not under your control, from those things that you can control. So in that way, you at least you are becoming more positive. You are trying to avoid the negative things, right? And then suppose you have been assigned any task and you have a lot of pressure. So focus on the task, not the outcome, because you think that if I'm not able to do this work, then I would be punished. So punishment is your focus. If I'm not able to complete this assignment, I would be failing. So in that way, your focus is on that outcome, and that too negative. So that is why you are not able to complete your task. So I ask them to complete the task, to focus on the task first. Moreover, I ask the students to recollect and reconnect with your strengths and feel confident, because self-confidence is very much required here. And I always, through some good lessons, through motivation is very much needed. Shivangi, you can understand. Sometimes students are into a situation wherein they have a lot of pressure, peer pressure, family pressure. So they need a kind of person who can be there with him or her. And there may be some faculty members, there should be some faculty members who are ready to give time to these students who are feeling this kind of stress or pressure. Right? So I always try to make them understand that you have a lot of strengths. So in that way, they gain their self-confidence. And then I try to make them understand that whatever situation you have been into, you have to face that with full confidence and accept yourself as you are. And then engage yourself in relevant and meaningful activities, right? Learn to manage people, time, and resources. In that way, they try to acquire that management skills as well. So under the stressful condition, let yourself plan for the worst. The key here is that you are anticipating the unexpected, and in that way, instead of panicking, you will be able to maintain your composure and continue your task to the best of your ability. सिचुएशंस आर देयर, चारों ओर प्रॉब्लम्स आ गई हैं, प्रेशर आ गया है, तो हम क्यों ना एक स्ट्रैटेजी बनाएं जिससे हम इस प्रेशर को कम कर सके, स्ट्रेस को मिनिमाइज कर सके.
एक बहुत ही कॉमन सेइंग है कि इफ देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम एंड यू कैन सॉल्व इट, व्हाई वरी, एंड इफ यू कांट सॉल्व इट, इट्स नॉट इन योर हैंड्स, व्हाई वरी.
करेक्ट. इट इम्प्लाइज एवरीवेयर.
तो जैसे लाइक जिस तरीके से आपने मुझे सारी चीज़ बताई, समझाई, आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि जो आपके स्टूडेंट्स रहे हैं और जो अभी आपके स्टूडेंट्स हैं, या जो स्टूडेंट्स आपके अंडर प्लेसमेंट के लिए जाते हैं, दे लर्न अ लॉट फ्रॉम यू एंड यू हैव अ ग्रेट इम्पैक्ट ऑन देयर लाइव्स. बट क्या कोई ऐसा स्टूडेंट रहा है या कोई ऐसा बैच रहा है जिसने आपकी लाइफ पे बहुत इम्पैक्ट डाला हो?
See, there had been many students who have created an impact over my life, and they are still in touch with me, and all the alumni are in touch with me, and we are trying to work together. benefit each other, learn from each other. But if you talk about any positive impact, then definitely I can share. I would not take his name, but there was a student from my class of 2017 batch who was considered to be one of the notorious students of that class.
Okay.
ठीक है, तो he being open to me used to share his rebellious thoughts. उसका जो भी rebellious thoughts होते थे, grievances होते थे, opinions होते थे, college life के लिए, teachers के लिए opinions होते थे, वो सभी मुझसे शेयर करता था. I used to make him understand, calm down. Since he was a different kind of person and not so disciplined guy, he was always in the bad books of of most of the teachers. Although taking the onus of his alignment, I would always give him tips and advices. But some of his expectations and grievances always made me rethink upon our own system. हमको लगता था कि कभी-कभी ऐसा फील होता था कि हम स्टूडेंट्स की मेंटोरशिप कर रहे हैं, तो क्या हमें भी कुछ सीखने की जरूरत है. जस्ट फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ही यूज्ड टू क्लेम हिज एक्स्ट्रा स्किल्स ओवर द एकेडमिक स्किल्स. वो अपने कुछ अलग टाइप के एक्सपेरिमेंटल स्किल्स कुछ बताता था. He was not very good at academics. He was not the topper. And he was never recognized or appreciated by the teachers. And he was very anxious. He felt very bad about that. He told me those teachers were always against him and that blah, blah, blah. He had always shared his grievance of getting a title from his own department for his once committed single mistake. For example, अगर उसने कोई एक लाइफ में एक बार मिस्टेक किया, so in the next semester also, if suppose a new teacher joins, then that teacher was also aware of his mistake. So he asked me, he questioned me, मैम दैट वो टीचर जो है वो उन्होंने अभी ज्वाइन किया, उन्होंने मेरे बारे में कैसे जान लिया, वो उसको उसी टाइटल से क्यों बुलाने लगे. सो वी आर नॉट डीलिंग विद द सिचुएशन. वी आर नॉट ट्राइंग टू mentor or provide right kind of guidance, support, mental support to the students. So in fact, I counsel the teachers also, like, because it was very important for the teachers to understand, like, we should not put a label. So he always told me that how can I improve, मैम मैं तो अपने आप को इम्प्रूव कर ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि जैसे ही मैं अपने आप को इम्प्रूव करने चलता हूँ, वैसे ही एक दूसरी सिचुएशन आती है जिसमें मुझको ब्लेम कर दिया जाता है. तो वो मुझे मेरी लाइफ पर बहुत इम्पैक्ट डाला, मेरी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ पर इम्पैक्ट. तो मैंने बहुत सारे टीचर्स को इवन मीटिंग्स में मैंने ये स्ट्रेटेजी बताई कि जो पास्ट है उसको भूल जाना है, और उस पर्टिकुलर कैंडिडेट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेते हुए, स्टूडेंट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेते हुए, हमें उसके अभी जो करंट उसके में इम्प्रूवमेंट्स हुए हैं या वो अपने आप पर वर्क कर रहा है, उस पर हमें ध्यान देना होगा, ना कि उसके पास्ट परफॉर्मेंसेस पे. And today is at high position working in an MNC and doing great on his professional and personal fronts with full confidence, no regrets, no complaints, and no blames, with a cheerful smile and a confident style. So I'm proud of him, and there are many students who have left a positive impact on my life, and this student was one of those students.
So बोला जाता है चेंज विद द चेंज. सो ये यहाँ पे भी ज़रूरी हो जाता है कि वक्त के साथ इंसान तो बदलता है. वी शुड नॉट बी गोइंग विद द सेम टाइटल फॉर द सेम पर्सन फॉर एवर एंड एवर.
करेक्ट.
तो मैंने ये भी चीज़ नोटिस की थ्रू आउट द कॉन्वर्सेशन कि आपके इंस्टीट्यूशन में सेल्फ इंट्रोस्पेक्शन है. लाइक आपने जैसे बताया था कि पहले एकेडमिक्स पे फोकस ज़्यादा होता था, बट नाउ दैट हैज़ बीन चेंज्ड. उसके बाद आपने बताया कि ऐसा थोड़ा बिहेवियर था कि मतलब एक एग्जांपल आपने दिया कि एक बच्चा था जिसके साथ थोड़ा सा ऐसा बिहेवियर था, बट देन ऑल्सो दैट चेंज्ड. सो करंटली what are the things that the institution is working upon, and what are the next things that you want to achieve?
At the college level, I can say that we are working upon the value system of our organization, all the organizations. As I said, teachers or all the trainers have to be trained. See, once we are talking about behavior and attitude, so it becomes our responsibility to estimate ourselves, right? Evaluate ourselves as well. So there is a two-way process going on, and there are faculty development programs also, so that they can be groomed and they can be tested. They can verify at their own levels. Universal Human Values and Professional Ethics (UHVP) course, which is there in AICT. So through AICT, in all the institutions, this course has become a mandatory course, and through which students and the faculty members are developing themselves. Like, there is a system through which they can verify, and then accordingly they can make themselves ready to face each and every situation, right? They can work for their family, they can work for their society. So it's a value-based education. So we are trying to develop that system. And if you talk about any change in the education system that we intend to, then definitely I would say that there is one thing that I would like to get introduced in our organization, which is industry integrated education, which is not there. We are trying to collaborate with the organizations. We have already collaborated with some organizations like IBM, Tata Steel. Code Quotient is also one of those organizations through which we are getting the right kind of training for our students.
Right.
But see, we talk about skill gaps. Every now and then there are conferences. We talk about skill gaps. We talk about needs of industry collaboration. We talk about bridging these gaps. But when it comes to institute industry collaborations, the system fails due to involvement of third parties or agents, or even directly the companies with high cost, luxurious, and not so affordable commercial models. Right? So it leaves behind our core objectives and mutually beneficial, even CSR goals are not fulfilled. So I recommend and I request all the college authorities or even industries to join hands and create a model.
Right.
And in fact, for our organization, especially, I have created a plan, also stepwise plan, and I am in touch with some organizations through which I can develop a model so that we can work together.
Because if we work together, तो फिर मतलब ये चीज़ आसान हो जाएगी कि the companies already have skilled
Right.
students and the students are also learning at a great pace.
करेक्ट. तो हम लोगों का ये ना 3 स्टेप्स का प्रोसेस है. फर्स्ट स्टेप इज interest and skill based bucketing of students, classification of students, right? Not by age, not by scores, but by skill levels. This is the first step that we intend to do. Second step is setting up an educational model with structured programs for vocational training combined with apprenticeships. When we have industry collaborations, when we have skill identification, and on the basis of that skills identified, if we collaborate with the industry, so in step 2 we can have an educational model with structured programs for vocational training, apprenticeships, internships, whatever. And then in the third step, we can create a career roadmap by providing work opportunities for their skill demonstration. For example, these set of students have got training on specific technology with this particular company. Now this company needs some interns, so they will work on their projects, and in that way they will demonstrate their skills and employability. So in that way, it would lead to the skill assessment, it would lead to skill enhancement, further it would lead to the placements. And it's not a difficult task, but it has been made complex, and we are working on that.
Okay. बट जैसे आपने बताया ना कि जो लास्ट 2 स्टेप्स है, दैट द सेम मॉडल इज ऑल्सो विद कोड क्वोशंट. दे एक तो डू द इंटीग्रेशन लाइक यू सेड कि दिस इज एन इंडस्ट्री इंटीग्रेटेड प्रोग्राम जहाँ पे वो स्टूडेंट्स को इंटर्नशिप्स के लिए भी भेजते हैं एंड देन दे लेट देम वर्क ऑन लाइव प्रोजेक्ट्स. किसी कंपनी के प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं तो उस स्किल पे डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन करने के लिए, वहां से सीखने के लिए, बोथ थिंग्स आर देयर.
So I know it is one of the best platforms, and we have seen the outcomes also, right? And that is why this code quotient is for training, and this is for suppose full stack development, right? So I would request the team members or the owners of this organization to expand their opportunities now. This is the time that they can expand their opportunities in order to meet the requirements of the other branch students as well, right? So we have some core engineering branch students. For them, we need to have collaborations with some manufacturing companies, production companies, like L&T, like Siemens. So in that way, we are trying to get in touch with them in order to have center of excellence here at our organization. So when it comes to establishing the center of excellence, it's a highly paid model, maybe in crores, 20 crores. So how would a private organization be able to pay? Because we are not charging even a single penny from the student in the name of placements, in the name of training. We do not charge. See, everything is being paid by the management itself. Management had been so kind enough, but what about the bridging the gap? If you want to bridge the gap and industries have the requirements, the industries have the technologies, why shouldn't industry come forward to bridge this gap? If we are having good intention to collaborate and join hands for students' career development and bridge this gap, so why shouldn't we join hands?
Right.
This is how Code Quotient is definitely proving itself to be one of the best organizations following the same model, right? So we have the training model, we have the selection model, we have the assessment model, and then we have the placement model. So that is why we are continuing with this year as well.
I'm sure your suggestions would be met very positively because they are for the future of the students as well as the organizations, as well as the countries. तो ये एक
Correct.
wholesome like march here towards a better future. So before we close down on the episode, I have a very small set of one word or one liner questions, if you allow me.
Okay.
तो कोई एक ऐसी हैबिट जो आपका स्ट्रेस रिलीवर है?
Thinking positive. I always think positive.
Okay. When you are in doubt, one thing you must do is
Exploration and finding their strategies for solution.
right. According to you, dash is the key to success.
Hard work and focus.
Correct. One thing that's a must in a candidate, according to you.
Right attitude.
Any small hack to crack an interview or deal for entrepreneurs? मतलब अगर हम सिर्फ जॉब की बात ना करें, जो बच्चे आने वाले टाइम में अपना कुछ बिजनेस शुरू करना चाहते हैं, व्हाट कैन बी अ डील ब्रेकर फॉर देम, एंड फॉर अ जॉब एप्लीकेंट व्हाट कैन बी अ इंटरव्यू क्रैकिंग डील फॉर देम?
For an entrepreneur, finding out the problem, exploring the different areas, and then coming up with a solution. The ideation is important. And when it comes to the jobs, so again, understanding their niche areas which they are interested in, which they are skilled in, and then tapping the right kind of opportunities.
Okay. According to you, what is the future of IT in India?
Future of IT in India is bright, but it has to be incorporated with the values, because uniquely human traits must be there. So suppose if I talk about augmented intelligence, so augmented intelligence has created a lot of scope of human intelligence, or you can say that decision making process has to be done with the involvement of human beings. It is very important. So IT future is bright, but human intervention is very important.
One thing you would want to change in the education system?
A lot of changes are required. Like we can think of having collaborations, value-based learning, practical-based learning.
Okay. You have seen the recruitment processes and the classes pre-COVID and post-COVID. What do you think was more good for the students?
I should not say that what was good, what was bad, because
Right.
We have to be very adaptive based on the situations. And every system has pros and cons, right? So online education has its own pros and cons. It is the need of the hour, we know very well. Undoubtedly, it has made college and professional life easier and simpler, but up to an extent. Till we do not go for shortcuts or dishonesty or malpractices which came into picture, right? So that was the good thing, but was that, see, online teachers learning में teachers भले ही अपना best दे दें, students की seriousness, attentiveness और learning outcomes की guarantee हो ही नहीं पा रही है. We have seen that because I know that I was teaching chemistry, I gave my 100%. I was very much satisfied with my teaching. When it came to their evaluation, I found very bad results. And even I personally talked to the students, were you attentive in that online class? So they said that, ma'am, we were not 100% attentive. We just attended the classes in order to get the attendance.
Right.
So even teachers अपनी खुद की efficiency और effectiveness को ensure या assess नहीं कर पाते हैं. हम personally उन बच्चों को monitor कहाँ कर पाते हैं? So this is the bad thing. So I think pre-COVID or during COVID, we were facing that situation. That was the need of the hour. So that is why we went into that. But now it is the time that we switch to our offline mode. We can have a blended model,
Right.
but interpersonal relationship, monitoring, evaluation, understanding each other, sharing, these are the missing parts, and I think we should improve upon it.
And final question would be one question you rarely get asked.
It's a tough question. Usually नहीं पूछते हैं. I think.
अच्छा, I know a question जो लोग usually नहीं पूछते हैं. That would be, are you happy?
I was just about to tell you the same answer. Are you happy?
Yeah.
So this was the same question that I was just about to tell you. You spoke a little early.
So tell me, are you happy?
Definitely I am happy, because I am having this kind of aspiration. I know my goals, Shivangi, because I have two goals, to be happy and prosperous.
Right.
And having prosperous is entirely different from having wealthy. So prosperity means having more than what is actually required, right? Having a feeling of having more than what is required. अगर आपके पास ये feeling है कि अब मेरे पास sufficient है, उससे मेरे पास थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही है, जिससे कि मैं share कर सकती हूँ. That becomes a state, or you can say a feeling of prosperity. Otherwise, having wealth is, there is no limit of having wealth. You can, आज आपके पास एक कार है तो कल आपके पास एक बड़ी कार होनी चाहिए, दूसरा मॉडल होना चाहिए. आज आपके पास एक फ्लैट है तो आपके पास बंगलो होना चाहिए. So there isn't any limit of that. So definitely I'm happy because I know my goals, and I have my roadmap towards my future plans, and that is why I am enjoying my life. And I think I'm happy also because I am always ready with this question to ask from the others, like, are you happy? So I will ask from Shivangi also, are you happy, Shivangi?
जैसे आपके लिए दो चीजें होती है, हैप्पीनेस एंड प्रॉस्पेरिटी, मेरी जिंदगी में सिर्फ एक ही चीज है, दैट इज satisfaction, being content. satisfaction is still एक दूसरी चीज है कि you can never be satisfied with your life. आपको हमेशा कुछ बेटर करने की सोचनी चाहिए, बट वो एक कंटेंटमेंट है कि जो मैं कर रही हूँ वो मेरी इच्छा के अनुसार है और वो गलत डायरेक्शन में नहीं है और इससे मुझे बेनिफिट ही मिल रहा है और मैं आगे सिर्फ ग्रो करती रहूंगी. सो दैट इज माई फीलिंग ऑफ कंटेंटमेंट एंड हैप्पीनेस, and I'm happy
because you are defining yourself, huh? Your goal, you are continuously verifying yourself, like where do you stand, what do you want in life. So in that way you are exploring, and that is why you are having that feeling of contentment.
Exactly. तो काफी अच्छा लगता है, मतलब इस तरीके से जब जिंदगी हो कि हम जो करना चाहते हैं वो हमें करने का मौका भी मिल रहा है और वो हो भी पा रहा है.
मुझे लगता है कि ये जो हम करना चाहते हैं उसका मौका भी हमें तभी मिलता है जब हम एक पॉजिटिव थॉट रखते हैं, क्योंकि लाइक अट्रैक्ट्स लाइक, या जो एक लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन है. हम लोग बात करते हैं ना एफर्मेशंस की, तो एफर्मेशंस यही होता है, इफ यू थिंक पॉजिटिव यू विल अट्रैक्ट पॉजिटिव, एंड इफ यू हैव प्लान्ड समथिंग इन योर माइंड, you would visualize in your mind, it would be there in your imagination, and it would be there in front of you because you have brought it in your reality,
right,
through your imagination and through your work plans as well.
ये बात तो है. So it was amazing talking to you. मुझे बहुत मजा आया आपसे बात करके.
Same here.
Thank you so much for your time. So not just placements and the procedure, काफी life related बात भी कर ली हमने. Value of affirmations and the meaning of happiness. काफी भारी चीजें हैं, बट आई होप यू गॉट द जिस्ट ऑफ देम, एंड आई एम श्योर आपने इस पूरी कॉन्वर्सेशन से कुछ ना कुछ ज़रूर सीखा होगा. क्या पसंद आया, क्या नहीं, अपने सजेशंस, फीडबैक, क्वेश्चंस सब आप हमें लिख के बहुत ही आसानी से भेज सकते हो. जस्ट गो टू www.codequotient.com, दैट इज़ www.codequotient.com, एंड विल बी हैप्पी टू हियर फ्रॉम यू. मिलते हैं ऐसे ही एक और एपिसोड के साथ बहुत जल्द ही. Until then, you keep coding, keep learning, and keep fixing the bugs. Fixing the bugs. Powered by Code Quotient.